In the United States, the Supreme Court has ruled that vaccinated people worldwide are products. They are now patented goods. According to U.S. law, which can be verified, people who have been vaccinated no longer qualify as humans, and therefore they can no longer be categorized as human beings.
And I mentioned the term transhumanism, and I think that in some circles, the idea of transhumanism goes off on a tangent. The idea that humans are going to become something that is not human anymore, or perhaps the post-human. But there's still the term humanity in there. What is that essence of the human, and what does it mean to be transhuman? I think if we were to realistically take a look at that, what we would see is that the human is, in fact, a species in transition. The transhuman is that transitive species that is indeed evolving. We push back from the idea of the fallacy of the ephemeral that says we're not changing. We are. And more, we're becoming the architects or the engineers of that directive change. It's not simply reactive to those things that are an environment that then prompts changes in us by virtue of what we can survive, what we do to flourish. We're determining what those variables and factors are, and we're engineering those changes to ourselves as well as our environment so as to be able to prompt the directionality of that transition. We are a species in transition. And I think that's something to appreciate and at the same time to apprehend and perhaps to gain some apprehension about. The idea there is, will we incorporate not only a builder's bias, but the builder's responsibility, the burden of the builder's responsibility, if we are in fact the engineers of our own evolution, irrespective of what everyone may say is human nature. Human nature is one of tool use, is of creativity. And whether or not one defaults or reflects or leans upon religious traditions to say that humans may be made in some image of their creator, or that humans are independent of that, and the creator was nothing more than a retired watchmaker, or if one completely abandons any of those viewpoints, the idea is humans are evolving, and they're evolving through their own accord, their own efforts, and through their own direction, and through their own intent. And with direction and intent and with action comes responsibility. The more we become capable with regard to these implements and changing what we are and how we are that, what we're capable of doing, breaking down the barriers and the limitations of our function, our structure, the more we become responsible for the power that yields, power over each other, power over our environment, and certainly this is what we see with neuroscience and technology.
Yeah, that's true. And I was just on a show with Dr. Carrie Madej, and she was talking about how there's luciferase in all the vaccinations now. And she said that no one should be getting vaccinations, any vaccinations. And if you're getting more vaccinations, boosters and everything, you're just putting more of that luciferase in your body, which is, like we talked about, is communicating with 5G and just taking information from you and sending it to 5G, and then getting information back from 5G.
My name's Dr. Sean Brooks, PhD, Oxford. I have 48 publications, including 23 books. I've studied health, medicine, anatomy, and physiology for approximately 21 years. Dr. Robert Malone, who created the messenger RNA vaccine, has said no one should ever take these jabs ever, under any circumstance whatsoever. He created it, and he says don't ever do it. So let me explain what's going to happen to the people who have taken it. The jabs create spike proteins. They're in the jabs themselves, and they create it by snapping your RNA in half. You are no longer a human anymore. You are something else, and you are susceptible to countless diseases.
Talks to me, stillborn by choice. Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby.
Alright, stop, collaborate and listen. Ice is back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly.
Will it ever stop?
Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up the stage and watch the chump. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up the stage and watch the chump. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance! Crush a speaker that booms. I'm killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly! When I play a dope melody, anything less than the best is a felony. Love it or leave it, you better gain weight. You better hit bullseye, the kid don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby.
Arthas.